guys, it's Alexis, aka The Soft Reader, and I'm here today to do another Top 5 Wednesday video. This week's topic is our favorite middle books in a series, so these are all a list of books that are in the middle of a series that are my favorite in the series. As always, I will leave thoughts on tomes and the Goodreads link down below in case you guys are interested in checking out either or, but let's just go ahead and get into it. The first one I'm going to mention is Catching Fire, which is the middle book in the Hunger Games trilogy, and personally this is my favorite book in the Hunger Games. I just love this book. I love the introduction of new characters in this book. I love the Hunger Games in this book, and how much thought is put into that. It's just so interesting, but the biggest thing and the biggest reason that I love this particular book so much is just because of the new characters you get to meet in this book who are all my faves. This book introduced me to Finnick Odair, who to this day is still a light in the literary world in my opinion. So yeah, so I couldn't have made this list without including Catching Fire because this is the best book in my opinion, and I loved it. The next one I'm going to mention is actually the third book in a pretty large series, and that is Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. This is the third book in the Throne of Glass series. This is my favorite book in the Throne of Glass series. I love this book, and even if the Throne of Glass series as a whole isn't my favorite, and even if after this book the series gets a lot worse in my opinion, I still love this book. I still love the character development in this book and how things play out in this book still mean a lot to me. One of the characters in this book very much reminded me of my own depression when I was knee deep in the middle of that myself. So reading this book for me, I just love it. I just love how much emotion is in this particular book, and just how the main character in this book just completely deals with so much baggage, but she finally deals with the baggage, and I love this book. I'll always love this particular book, again, even if I'm not in love with the series as a whole. The next one I'm going to mention is Rules of Attraction, which is the second book in the Perfect Chemistry Companion series. Gosh, this book is an oldie for me. I haven't read these books since I was in high school when they first came out. But this middle book is definitely my favorite in the series. It always has been. Just the story and the particular brother in this book are my favorite, and the romance in this book for me is the best, and just, yeah, definitely my favorite book in this particular series. The next one I'm going to mention is my favorite book in the Vampire Academy series by Rochelle Mead, and that is Blood Promise. I don't think there are a lot of people who say this is their favorite book, but this one's definitely mine. It has been since the first time I read it, again when I was in high school. And just, yeah, I just love the events in this book. And this book has a lot of really emotional stuff that happens. This book also takes place in a very different setting than the rest of the books. This is the first book in a series where Rose and Lissa are apart, and so you really get to see such a huge character development of them being apart, and you get to see them kind of have their own lives apart from each other for the first time in the series, which I loved. And just, yeah, this is my favorite book of the series. It always has been. Also just because, like I said, this book has some real emotional stuff that happens in it, and you guys know that I am always here for emotional angsty stuff because that's my taste as a person. The next book I'm going to mention is The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the second book in the Raven Cycle, and this is my favorite book in the Raven Cycle. Objectively and subjectively, I think this is the best book in the Raven Cycle. My main reason that I loved this book and I fell so in love with this book is that this book is when the character Ronan really takes center stage in the story, and this book has a lot of focus on him and his character backstory, and also the direction his character is moving in, but it's also a lot about the things he can do as a character and a lot of other things. And I just love this book because Ronan's my favorite character in this series, and I just had a great time reading this book as I was trying to figure out what was happening and what was gonna happen. So yeah, I just love The Dream Thieves. It's my favorite book in this series. I love it because I love my man Ronan Lynch. Alright, so those were all of the middle books in a series that are my personal favorites in this series. Surprisingly, I thought there were going to be a lot of these, and there really weren't that many. I only have 7 to choose from to make a top 5 list. which got me thinking a lot about, like, in my favorite series, which book do I consider my favorites? And, like, I have the hardest time committing to a favorite anything, so that could also be why. But you guys should let me know down below your thoughts on any of these books, or which series do you think the middle book is your favorite, and I'll see you guys soon with another video.